Amma. So this is useful for identifying what is the position of the company in long term. So still now what we have done in the liquidity ratios is they are going to identify within 1 year period what is the position of the company. But this capital structure will help the company to know what is the position of the company in the long period. That is more than 5 years period. Okay. So to identify that, these ratios, this debt equity ratio, they are going to calculate. Not only the company, this is useful for not only to the company, that is useful for even for any bankers who are going to lend amount, for creditors, those who are going to supply the material on credit, and even this is useful for the shareholders also, those who are going to invest in the company, no. So those people also require to know what is the position of the company, then only they will be in a position to hold those shares of the company. Otherwise they can leave this company and they can invest their amount in the other companies. So for that purpose they are going to identify, they need to calculate all these things if you are professional in investments. So for that you are going to use these ratios, that is which is most important, named as what? Debt equity ratio. So in short, DE ratio. So how this is calculated means a formula is given here. So debt equity ratio is equal to outsiders funds divided by insiders funds. Outsiders funds means the amount that is going to be borrowed from outside people. So this is related with the capital amount. Debt equity ratio is nothing but the related to the capital, whether the company is depending on borrowed fund or that is utilizing its own funds to run the business. So to know that, this debt equity ratio will help. So for that the standard ratio should be 1:1, not more than 1:1 the ratio should be. So if it is going to be 2:1, that indicates that the company is depending more on the debt, borrowed amount, borrowed capital instead of own capital. So that will be an risk to the company, no, if they are not going to earn profits. So for that always they have to keep this debt equity ratio as 1:1. So 1:1 will be the preferable ratio. And interest coverage ratio will help you to identify, so to what extent the profits are earned. So in these profits, how much interest is going to be paid to the borrowed funds, fund holders. So that is needed. So because borrowed fund is not going to be available at free of cost, no, they need to pay certain amount to that borrowed fund. So how much amount you are paying from the profits that you are earning every year, to know that this interest coverage ratio will help. So these are the two important capital structure ratios that we are going to identify or apply. So to apply this debt equity ratio, let us do a small problem, before which I am giving you here the formula of this debt equity ratio. So debt equity ratio is equal to debt divided by equity. Simple, here in the name itself that formula equation is given here, formula is there. So debt divided by equity, or you can also take it as outsiders funds divided by insiders funds. So what comes under the outsiders funds? Take down this list of outsiders funds. So outsiders funds is equal to debentures. You have to add all these items, debentures plus bonds. If any bonds amount is given, that also you have to include, and long-term loans. So all these you are going to sum up, that will give you the outsiders funds. So that means the company is going to borrow in these three ways. Either it is going to issue the debentures or bonds or long-term loans. And insiders funds means this includes share capital. Share capital may be related with the preference share capital, and two types of share capital we have now, preference share capital and the equity share capital. So among these two can be included in this. Sometimes it may be given separately, preference share capital and equity share capital, then you sum up that. Otherwise directly share capital is given, you take that in the equity or insiders funds. Along with this you add this reserves also. So sometimes you will see in the balance sheet both the general reserves will be there, sometimes specifically some contingency fund, like that some reserves will be given here. If you see reserves word, you add that to this insiders funds. And the third one, it is retained earnings. Any retained earnings you see in the balance sheet on liability side, you add that. And sometimes profit and loss account amount will be given, so that also you include in this insiders funds. All these are the 4 types that you are going to include in the insiders funds. If any of this item is seen in the problem that was given, so add it to the insiders funds. And the above 3, debentures, bonds, long term loans, you add as an outsiders funds. So in this manner you are going to identify these funds. So let us do a small problem for that so that you can understand in detail about that. So take this problem, everyone. From the following information, calculate DE ratio. DE means nothing but the debt equity ratio. So this is the problem that was given here. So always keep in mind that whenever DE ratio is given, you have to look at this liabilities. You can see here 4 columns are there. First one, it is liabilities, right? So the amount that was given here, it is related with these liabilities. And the third column indicates assets. So this assets related amount is given in another amount column. So you need not concentrate on this assets part, these 2 columns, third and fourth columns. We require the first and second columns only to apply the DE ratio. So both the insiders funds and the outsiders funds will be available in this liabilities only. Okay. So see here, preference share capital is given, equity share capital is given, general reserves are given. Okay. So all these comes under what? Comes under the, that is insiders funds. And debentures will comes under the outsiders funds, and any more are there. Profit and loss account is there, which comes under the outsiders funds. And bank loan also comes under the long term loans are there. No, you treat these bank loans all as an outsiders long term loans. Okay. So whatever the loan that is given on liability side, you take there. If it is given as a short term loan, don't include here. So if it is not mentioned here long term or short term, treat it as long term. So these are the important points you have to keep in mind. Let us solve this problem. So first of all, keep the heading as a calculation of debt equity ratio. Take down the formula for that. What is the formula to calculate this debt equity ratio? Today I think net is very slow here. So debt equity ratio is equal to debt divided by equity. See, some problem is there. Debt divided by equity. So debt is equal to, you add this debentures plus bonds plus bank loans. So how much it is? 400 plus 200. No bonds, no? So there is no need of adding here bonds. So debentures plus bank loans you have to take here. 400 debentures here you can see on the left hand side, debentures in front of debentures 400 is given. That 400 you add here, and in front of bank loans 200 is given, no, at the bottom. So you can follow the cursor. I'm showing there. 200 you add here. Okay, so that will give you how much total? Total is 600 rupees. Okay, so this is outsiders funds. Let us calculate this insiders funds. What are the things that it is going to be included in this insiders funds? It is very slow. So insiders funds is equal to preference share capital right there plus equity share capital plus reserves plus profit and loss account. So any reserve that may be, if you see reserves, that you add to this insiders funds. Okay, so how much it is? Preference share capital is given here 100, no? So add that 100 plus 150 equity share capital plus general reserve 250 plus here P&L account is given, no? Profit and loss. This is sometimes it is given as P and L. P and L indicates profit and loss account. So this is 100. Okay, so you add those, all those things. 100 plus 150 plus 250 plus 100. How much you will get? Use the calci. 50 plus 250 plus 100. 600 you will get. Okay, so the same thing you write here. This is not responding properly. How much time it is taking? See, after explanation it is still not responding. 250 plus 100. So 600 rupees we got insiders funds and 600 rupees we got outsiders funds. So substitute that insiders funds and the outsiders funds 600 by 600. You will get 1:1. Okay, 600 by 600. You will get 1:1. So write the comment here. So standard ratio is also 1:1, no? So according to the information that was provided, this company is having ratio which is equal to the idle ratio. Hence the solvency position of the company, long-term solvency position of the company is satisfactory. So like this 1 or 2 sentences you have to write the comment compulsory. This will carry you marks required. Okay, so this is how you are going to calculate the debt equity ratio.